My next guest is going to be back in action, FAC 26, a couple days away. We're really happy to get a chance to speak to him here. It is Mohammed Zwolak here on the program. Mohammed, how are you, man?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Really excited for this fight. Obviously, going to be live on Spectation Sports. If people can't make the card, it's another stacked event here. But I was just looking at obviously your record. I know you haven't fought in a bit. What's been the reason for the layoff? In case people were wondering, kind of coming into this one.
Just a mixture of like an injury, and then on top of that, just finding the opponent. Sometimes would find a guy, and then for some reason it would fall out. Just things like that, not just typical fight stuff.
Yeah, is that typical in your career? You get fighters, turning things down, or things don't really work out? Because I know it can be a little rough out there in the regional scene sometimes, getting fights secured.
It's really common in the regional scene, especially. Like I had a guy pull out the day of the weigh-ins, so yeah, it's pretty tough. I've had another guy pull out fight week. I've had guys pull out. It's just like it's the name of the game,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, no, you got to be ready for anything, unfortunately. Tell me how this came together with you fighting Nick Fields, obviously a 7-fight veteran. Take me through when you found out about this fight and what you know about Nick as an opponent.
I found out about it about like 6 weeks ago.
Nice.
I was getting already in camp, getting ready for the FAC. I didn't know who I was going to be fighting at. I didn't know who I was going to be fighting at the time. And then his name popped up, and we grabbed it. So.
Nice. Okay, well, that's good. And like I said, 7-fight veteran. How do you feel like you match up against him in this fight?
I think I do pretty well against him. Just mostly, I feel like my my game is evolved into another level ever since my last performance. I was very disappointed with how I performed in that performance, and I made sure to fix some things that I needed to be fixed. And then on top of that, I've added new tools to the tool belt. So I think I do really really well against this guy. He's a vet though. Don't get me wrong. Like he does things very very well. But I think I just take the cake.
Okay. Yep. We're looking forward to it. And you train at a great camp over there at Ignite. Zach Cummins, for people who don't know, one of the best coaches in the business, obviously UFC veteran, a lot of knowledge there. Just first, before I ask you like who you're working with and stuff, what's it like getting to be coached by Zach, just with his experience? And, again, he's been everywhere, fought everywhere. Like to have that as a coach must be such a big asset for you.
Yeah, man, it's just like another notch for the confidence, right? Like if you had somebody there that's been there before, it just makes things easier. He's an OG of the game, been around. He's been in the UFC, I believe, for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Just a good fighter and a good person as well. Like I've learned a lot from him, and he's helped me evolve my game into the next level.
What about training partners? Who've been some of the main guys helping you get ready for this one?
Gage Young, my closest friend and my one of my favorite teammates to train with. Jeff Molina, Brody Axogen, which he's on the card as well. Ethan Huffman, he's fought for FAC before, and a lot more guys. I don't have the time to like name them all.
No worries. We'd be here all day, but no, you just mentioned some great, and I didn't know Jeff was training with you guys either. So that, I mean, with his experience too, that's got to be nice to have in the gym. Gage, obviously, we've seen what he's been up to. The last FAC card, that was a really good fight, by the way, against Eric Grant. If people haven't seen it, yeah. So I mean, yeah, it doesn't get much better than that in terms of bodies in the gym, I imagine. You seem like you're in a good mood. I'm getting you on a Monday. We got the weigh-ins coming up here. Cut's going well by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I'm always in a good mood, regardless of the situation, right?
Oh, that's good. Good attitude to have, yeah.
Raining, but I got to be able to carry my own weather, So it's always some type of control that I can have by just being in a good mood,
Okay.
But yeah, and then I would like to add on like my second coach. He's an OG of the game. Has probably fought for every single promotion.
Jason High, yeah.
Yeah, Jason High. He's an OG of the. He's been around the block. He's helped me improve my boxing so much and helped me improve my wrestling so much as well.
Yeah, still one of the, if you go look it up, still one of the worst reasons to get rid of a fighter in the UFC. Like considering some of the other stuff that's happened, it's crazy that they didn't keep him around even after that whole thing happened. So if you get a chance to go Google that, go check it out, because it was BS. He barely did anything, So
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. But turned into a great coach too, and I know he's helping a lot of you guys, which is awesome. So your corner, will it be Jason and Zach? Who's going to be in the cage with you for this one?
It's just Jason and Zach, my two cornermen.
Okay.
and then yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Pretty good wealth of knowledge there. And how do you see this fight unfolding on Saturday? How do you see it playing out?
Just trying to set a pace, right? Like I don't want to start too fast and I don't want to start too slow. I want to start a nice, good pace, a controllable pace. I don't want to go brawl mode like I usually do. I want to be able to set a pace and control it, you know?
You mentioned your teammate there, Gage Young. Obviously, he's had some opportunities on, got on the Contender Series, and then is doing quite well. Do you see the same thing here with a win, especially looking at your record and fighting a guy like Nick Fields, who's a veteran, 7 fights? Do you see this win as a potential step to the Contender Series?
Absolutely. Whether I get into the Contender Series or a short notice fight after this fight or the next one, I for sure should be there soon, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. We talked all about fighting. What else are you doing outside the cage? I don't know what you do for work or what you get up to in your downtime, but what are some other things about you that people might not know?
I'm an MMA coach as well, and I
Oh,
also
awesome.
teach. I really enjoy it. I love it. I like to hang out with my family. Just typical boring stuff. Like I don't do anything different from anybody else. But
Mhm.
but like and being besides fighting, being an MMA coach is like my second passion. Like I love it. I enjoy it. It brings me energy whenever I'm helping somebody learn a new move. And it also levels me up as a fighter.
Yeah.
So.
Much better than an office job. At least it's in the same field, and it's like hey, I got to go do some training. I'm sure the gym understands if you have to go do something, right? It's not like an office where it's like, oh, this MMA thing again, So that's not bad at all. But yeah, I mentioned it there. It's FAC 26 coming up here this Saturday. You don't want to miss it. Like I said, if you can't go in person, which I highly recommend you do because FAC puts on a great show, go check it out on spectationsports.com. Mohammed, this was awesome, man. I really appreciate the time. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
I wanna give a huge shout out to my two main sponsors, which is Austin Adam CPA. Call him up if you ever need some work. You can look on my Instagram page for his phone number or his website. And then also the Hair Clutch people. They're amazing people and do great things for people with hair. Uh, Sorry for the people who don't have hair, but you gotta have some, you know. Uh, but yeah. Other than that, yeah. Shout out to my teammates and stuff like that. That's all I really got.